as a minority government. Now, the role we played, official opposition in that, was that we could either use to support and become hostile towards a minority government. We could join forces with the minority government and lead the country or potentially be part of the government for through the elections, or we say to the government that we will not be hostile to the minority government as long as they do not bring any controversial legislation. Our role will then be to simply provide enough members to a quorum so that they can hold part. So that is the extent of the agreement, if you were to call it that. Again, the first option, early elections, we didn't think was the right thing in the country. Frankly, I think as a party, we would probably been
better positioned than any other
group or party or persons out there for the early election. We had already working towards building a team, a campaign team in place. We were ready to go. We are ready to go. And so, but that was not the best option for the country, in our opinion. And so the other option of joining with the minority government until a May or June election was also not a feasible option. To come in 6 months or 5 months before an election, it doesn't give you, first of all, you're not going to come in and adopt another government's policies. And secondly, you don't have enough time to put your own policies in place.
Precisely.
Right? So the politically mature approach was that this has been done before, happened in 2012, and we would agree to support the minority government in providing a quorum for Parliament for non-controversial legislations. No new policies, no new major policy changes or major and controversial bills.
If I could interrupt you for a second there, because it is the understanding of some that amendments to the Immigration Act may have been brought forward. Some amendments, for instance, establishing certain categories where work permits would not be granted for, in certain areas, like, for instance, real estate, concierge, front desk, clerks, and things of that nature. Would something like that be considered controversial? Because the people of the Cayman Islands are calling for more protection, more opportunities for Caymanians, where they see those things eroding.
Yeah, we have. I have yet to see, and I will say that Minister Seymour did reach out to do a presentation to our group this week. We just haven't been able to pin down a time for that. But we have not seen the amendments as yet. We do not know what sort of well, we haven't seen the amendments to begin with, and then once we see the amendments, we would need to see, what data drove that, because it's you don't want to do something just for the sake of saying that you're doing something. You want to make sure that it is actually going to be beneficial to our people. Yes. But in saying that, it's hard to comment on it when we haven't seen what those amendments are as yet.
Fair enough.
And like I said, I have to reiterate that the minister had reached out to me to do a presentation to the group. We just haven't gotten to that as yet, but it hasn't been published. I believe something of that nature would require at least some public consultation, and I don't know if they've had consultation with the public and the private sector about these changes and how they would affect them and how you would phase those in, or where are you with persons that have work permits already, and succession planning and that sort of stuff. So but there is no doubt in our minds and in everyone's minds that our immigration laws need updating and need a complete review and advancing, in fact, and that it is required, because as we see, and we've been warning, with the current population growth, and even though we're showing growth in the economy and the GDP, the population growth is outgrowing that that growth in the economy. So whilst you have a fairly larger pie, you have much more people eating out of that pie.
Yes.
And that is where the issue comes in as far as how it affects the economy and our people. So um, we have no doubts in our minds that it requires a review. So again, like we said, the House has been called for early part of December. We were told both by